Oh, this looks awful. Millionaire goes homeless to prove anyone can make $1 million.
Today's been really tough. This is my bench right here. Gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
This is Mike Black, the millionaire who went homeless, with the goal to make $1 million from nothing in only 12 months, while documenting the entire journey online for everyone to see.
I'm cutting off my entire network. I'm draining my bank account to $0. I'm leaving behind my 7-figure business, putting all my belongings in storage, and I won't even have a place to live.
This is the $1 million comeback.
Did you know the project is gonna be like this?
No, everything was a curveball.
This is my one pair of clothes that I'm taking with me. I have a cell phone and I have a backpack with camera gear. The keys are officially turned in. The project has started. Now I gotta figure out what the f to do.
What Mike didn't know at the time was that this was going to be the toughest year of his life. But why did he decide to do it?
I'm gonna try to panhandle and make a couple bucks. I'm not worried about food at all. I can go a couple days without eating. Hey, how are you? I was wondering, do you have any like water cups by any chance? Finally, someone nice enough to give me some water.
See, it was the beginning of 2020 and countless people had lost everything. And he wanted to be a living example that you can make a comeback even at your lowest point. But could he really reach $1 million in 12 months again?
Everything.
Oh, do you ever think that like if you've already had access to these resources that have allowed you to accumulate wealth in this abundance, you're probably already in a position where it's not going to be so difficult to like kind of go back to square one. You're not necessarily foregoing or relinquishing all of your connections that you have been given, either through nepotism or that you have created, maybe through networking. This is just the beginning. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. He's taken his experience though. Yeah, he's not going to unknow or unlearn everything that he does know whenever he experiences homelessness. Oh, it gets worse? Oh God. He also potentially got knowledge others don't have. Exactly, yeah. That's the whole thing. So, the whole thing is a farce if you watch it? Oh, for sure. Let's go ahead and just like debunk the whole thing. After I tweet out that AOC has inspired me to agree to a hot chip challenge on stream. If you want to see my dumbass eat hot chip and die, subscribe to help reach the sub goal, I guess.
I tried didn't work.
I did have someone message me on Craigslist that said they'll give me $100 if I let them.
I started thinking like, I'm gonna be sleeping on the streets a lot longer than I thought. I don't know if I can do this.
All right, so it's 11 o'clock.
Oh, because you know what? Honestly, people who are actually subjugated to homelessness, they don't get that. They don't get to run this through their minds. They're not like, oh, can I do this? Am I gonna be okay? Maybe I shouldn't do this. See the difference? Most people who are in a position where they are literally experiencing homelessness, they don't have a choice in the matter. They don't get to like back out at the last minute. Must be nice though.
Make any money, my bench right here that I'm gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
But there was no going back now. He had publicly committed all over social media, hired an entire production team, and this was about something bigger than just himself.
Hired an entire
The goal of the
production
project was to
team.
help as many people as possible.
So giving up was never an option. But things took a turn.
Something amazing happened. Out of nowhere, like this kid hit me up and said like, hey man, you can crash
Mr.
here.
Beast?
Offered to drive 30 minutes to pick me up. I'm just really emotional
Prince
how
William do
nice of
something
an
like
act
this?
this was. I promise you I will repay you for all of this.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you don't have to, but...
Just thank you so much.
Of course.
This is the RV that I slept in last night.
Now, this was a short window of opportunity to get back on his feet.
I still have one pair of clothes. Look how gross this is. Now I get to put these boxers back on.
So he had to make some money, but this time he had a plan.
What I started doing is just taking ads on Craigslist in the free section, putting it on Facebook Marketplace, and selling it for a profit. I acted as the middleman, handling all the logistics between the buyer and the seller.
And it worked.
I just sold my first couch for $100.
Although this was literally only 0.0.
Okay, so what are the fucking chances that this person knows some people who know some people who know some people, and all of a sudden they're hearing about this little antic, this little scheme that he is putting together, and then all of a sudden these things just start to fall into his lap? I don't believe that this is real. I believe that if you put it out there into the airwaves that you are posing as a homeless person for however many months, and you're going to try to make it on the mean streets of wherever you are, then I bet you people start randomly showing up because they too want to get that chance to publicize themselves. I'm sure that this is exactly what it's supposed to look like, that it just happened so naturally, but let's be honest here. You don't think that shit was popping up behind the scenes? Like, take somebody who is relatively well-known or is well-off and has resources and isn't a nobody. And I say that not to sound overly, cruel, but if you're like a micro celebrity, people are going to know about you and they're going to hear about this. And they're probably going to want to try to step in to get some of that internet clout. It really depends, be cruel. It really depends on, because I didn't want it to seem like I was placing a no value judgment on the unhoused. Absolutely not. They are so incredibly important and they deserve more. But I mean to say that this person's accolades probably carried with them into the streets, and they were recognized, and his plans were probably pretty well publicized anyway, even if it was just through word of mouth. And it's just not the same. This is not the same. These are not the same conditions that most unhoused people experience whenever they are first subjugated to life on the street. And it's offensive. It's offensive for this person to make it seem as though there is this ease that comes with experiencing homelessness, because there's not. How do they have internet access? Well, I'm sure that he didn't give up his smartphone. So this is just, this is misleading. This is false. This is misleading. It's inaccurate. And what it does is it almost reinforces one's perception and stigma tied to the unhoused that, oh, they're really not working as hard as they should be. Oh, maybe we shouldn't feel as bad for them. Oh, maybe we shouldn't give them money. Oh, maybe we shouldn't care about them. After all, maybe it's not so difficult to get your life back in order. Maybe it's not so difficult to clean yourself up and get back out there and reintegrate into society. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Fuck this person. Some unhoused individuals do have a phone. Sometimes they have a phone plan. Sometimes they have they might have a Go phone or whatever. You can get the government phone if they still have them. I think they were decommissioned after the Obama administration. I've been waiting for my motherfucking Obama phone for 12 years. That's just like, Dystopian technocratic policies right there.
1% towards the final goal. With that, he was finally able to buy some clothes, some decent food after not eating for days, and most importantly, deodorant.
It's alright.
On day 3, he made a whopping $250 flipping more couches.
Hey Mike, what do you got there? That's a nice computer. Yeah, that's just a brand new used Chromebook. I'm gonna take that.
Oh, it's just not working.
But Mike had to figure out how to get his own place. Because Isaac, the guy who helped him on day 1 and now lived with in the RV, still had no idea about the project and who Mike really was. Because he was going on.
I'm sure he had no idea. I'm sure he had no idea. Because, you know, randomly just took in a guy, had his number, really? Oh yeah, please, you have to, come on, suspend your disbelief for a second and take in this feel-good story. It's all bullshit. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's content. I bet the camera crew didn't make it, you know, clear that he was important. Yeah.
Undercover as Scott, so he wouldn't get any extra help. If Isaac found out, Mike would have to cut off contact, which is one of the many rules he set up for the project. And
okay, who is like legit the most famous Twitch streamer? Okay, XQC. So if XQC went wandering around wherever he lives and fuck you, don't be a dick. XQC walked around and he's like, my name is Ninja, or XQC Ninja, whatever. One of those two walked around and they're wherever they lived and they're like, hi, my name is Freddy. And people be like, okay, Freddy, like, Pog, like, obviously, come the fuck on. Oh, come on, give us X's accent. Okay. I don't know. Doesn't he just, like, talk really fast and, like, English is his second language and he's just, like, really excited all the time? Say dude for XQC. Dude? Okay. Didn't mean to. Oh no, you're fine. Okay, so maybe this person like isn't famous. Maybe this person online. I'm talking like I'm doing the XQC. I'm not even meaning to do it. Real fast, like. English is my second language though, so I don't have an excuse. So maybe this millionaire is not so well known on the internet. Maybe that's true. But the camera crew, dead giveaway. And so even if this person is not a recognizable face, the camera crew is going to be a dead giveaway that they are filming something. Shall we continue?
then he'd be back on the streets again. So he had to get more Benjamins into his bank account.
I applied to 10 different jobs in one night, and the next day I woke up and I had 3 interviews.
So he spent the last $40 he had to
Obviously,
join a
like, this is
co-working
the video
space
to make
where
him
he could
famous
use
on the
much better
internet.
computers and start trading time for money. Even if that means working as a telemarketer for only $10 an hour.
$25 an hour working for a law firm as a virtual assistant. So whenever
Also, something that this person is failing to take into consideration consideration is their access to showers, right? And yeah, if you went a couple days, like he's a little stinky, he's also wearing pretty nice clothes. A lot of individuals who are experiencing homelessness, the longer they go without access to showers, laundry facilities, the more wear and tear, the more unkempt they look, the more difficult it is to gain access into the workforce, because they will take with them a lot of those remnants that suggest they are experiencing homelessness, in which case employers will not hire them. So this person does not look like an unhoused individual who has experienced chronic homelessness. This person looks like a regular person. And again, he has not taken into consideration the real impact that chronic homelessness has on your appearance. Not just your mental health and your physical health, right? Those are the less well-known. Those are a little less well-known, but in the immediate short term of experiencing homelessness, assuming that you do not have access to these necessities, it can, from the jump, be really difficult to even gain access to these workforces, like in these work centers. When I had a telemarketing job, I had to ask the boss for a loan to do laundry. Oh, really? I need to see a 2-year gap in employment. He can't explain for the actual homeless experience. No, that's true. That's true. Like, chronic homelessness is so different than couch surfing, which is what this person is essentially doing.
To Isaac, I was like, hey, would you be cool with lending me your car and I'll do food delivery? I'll give you the majority of everything I make.
Best delivery driver ever.
Also, like, real social, real extroverted, real cool with just asking if he can take, asking if he can borrow. And that's not the case for every single person who is experiencing homelessness either. Depending on the circumstances. A lot of the reason why the unhoused are experiencing homelessness is because they didn't know when to ask for help. And in some cases, they might have asked for help and resources or family weren't available to help catch them when they fell. Because God knows there's a very thin line standing in between a person and homelessness if there is a life-changing event, some sort of economic downfall tied to the broader economy, other economic factors, even some social indicators as well. But we do not ever, ever give too much credit to addiction or mental health issues as the primary cause for homelessness, because that's not true and it's not fair to the person who is experiencing homelessness. Let's talk to the broader issues at hand. We do not have a universal healthcare system in this country. We do not have a guaranteed workforce that allows us to enter into a market or enter into a profession that gives us stability. We are constantly experiencing both housing and employment insecurity, right, in many cases. And no social safety nets whatsoever means that we're left to our own devices. Homelessness causes mental health issues too. There's actually a lot of really good research. A lot of really good research that's come directly out of the Department of Health and Human Services that experiencing homelessness actually can cause mental health issues. Not necessarily more than, but in some cases, the causal effects of homelessness could be the direct result of homelessness leading to mental health issues and not the other way around. A lot of people just think, oh, you experience homelessness because you had mental health issues. If you see somebody who is experiencing homelessness and has mental health issues, a lot of people just assume the mental health issues led to homelessness. In cases specifically tied to children, homelessness causes mental health issues, not the other way around.
You heard it. Dude, I could flip this bike, by the way. It sells for like 300, 400 bucks. Flipping. Just left the thrift store. Got all these shirts. You looking?
Also, anybody watch Shameless? Shameless? I don't know if this wonderful woman was experiencing homelessness or not, but she was definitely destitute. And if the unhoused actually tried to do this, if they tried to flip bikes, if they tried to sell cigarettes, if they try to do a little side hustle, they will wind up in jail. They will wind up in jail because people will call the cops on them. For loitering, for being a menace, for engaging in the informal economy. Like, all of these things do not happen on a regular basis or in the way that it is illustrated by this person. If you are unhoused, and you know when you see somebody who is unhoused, they have all of their belongings with them. They have not showered. You can tell when somebody has been experiencing forlorn or chronic homelessness in the long term. And if they even try to barter in the way that this person is, they'd be thrown in jail. I was wondering how different this experience would be if he was a black guy or just not white. The chances that people would call the cops on him, probably higher. I watched Shamelessly because I low-key am in love with Emmy Rossum. Where is he? On the mean streets of Burbank? I don't know where he is, but...
For a sugar daddy, hit me up. $220.
But still, with all this work, he was barely getting by.
For the first time, my bank actually overdrew. I was not expecting this to take this long for me to get out of this situation.
Until things got even worse.
We didn't put this in the footage, but the RV had gotten a cockroach infestation. It was really bad. Imagine trying to sleep in a place where there's cockroaches everywhere. You imagine them crawling on you. Well,
yeah, that's
one
fucking
night,
gross.
I looked at my arm.
Also, for the first time, yeah, must be nice. Also, I wonder if there was some sort of initiative that was taken to, I don't know, just go ahead and use your money to take care of those overdraft fees. Because again, not an option for the unhoused. If they do still have a bank account and they overdraft, they could be hit with a fucking mountain of overdraft fees. Mountain! It is ridiculous how much those stack. And if you fuck up once, those overdraft fees are a killer. What is he going on about? He didn't even discuss it. That shit doubles every day. He did not even discuss it. He did not talk about what he did to rectify the situation, if anything. And he just kind of moved on and said, you know, for the first time in my life, I went into the red. And then he went on to talk about the cockroaches.
And there's a cockroach, just swiped it off, and I sat up. I'm done. I will not live here another week.
He just had to get one client for some service that would pay him a few grand.
I literally just spent all weekend. I sent so many.
I hit overdraft 5 times last year. Okay, well, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you wouldn't mind, could you give us a rough estimate of the amount of overdraft fees you had to pay for the 5 times that you did end up overdrafting?
Sales proposals.
Hell, I'll even put money on those roaches being planted. All right, that's a step too far. That is disgusting. I don't know anybody who would go that far, but oh, maybe.
Until he finally got someone to pay him for monthly marketing services.
$1,500. Dopamine just blasted.
Okay, this is, okay. Yeah, just make it seem believable. Yeah, so... We also don't talk about how, in many cases, those who are experiencing homelessness are also often experiencing other forms of oppression. Like here in Los Angeles, for example, the vast majority of unhoused individuals are African American. And that is the case in various places, depending on where you are, such as the case here. And so, if you are experiencing some form of oppression due to systemic inequality of literally any kind, then the material conditions from which you were born into might have shaped the outcome of your life, your educational attainment, so on and so forth. A lot of individuals who are currently experiencing homelessness can't fall back on their marketing advertisement job that allows them to be a 1099 contractor. It's interesting. A lot of individuals who are experiencing homelessness, not always, but they do not have degrees. Some do. Some have jobs. But going back to the whole, well, you're going into this entire experience with knowledge and resources and a network that almost all unhoused individuals do not have at all. Wait, somebody gave him 1K. I want to take this time to say thank you to my mom because as much as we argue, she paid my overdraft fees one time, something that could have made me homeless. I hate how people in the US don't support each other. We're sick, twisted people. True. And a lot of us do have those resources and that social safety net that not everyone did have. Wait, did I miss it? How did this person just get, like a grand? Someone just gave him 1K. Do I need to maybe dial this back?
Live here another week.
He just had to get one client for some service that would pay him a few grand.
I literally just spent all weekend. I sent so many sales proposals.
Until he finally got someone to pay him for monthly marketing services.
$1,500. Dopamine just blasting through my head. I have money now.
So he was able to move out of the RV into a small shared room. And to come full circle, now he could finally repay Isaac by helping him sell the RV for $2,000 more than he expected.
I bought a MacBook for him as a thank you present, paid for by my business. I was going to pay for 2 flights to Germany because he really wanted to go to Germany. Just thank him for everything. And then he just stopped responding to my texts.
Who knows, maybe he reaches out now if he sees the video.
I want those Germany tickets.
But in order to eventually reach the $1 million milestone,
He's like a used car salesman. I hate the way that he's making it seem like, oh, I just had to put in a little bit of effort. And all of these things. This dude has bad skills. This person is a businessman. He has experience, I'm assuming, with sales. And he is, I think that he is really undercutting the severity of the unhoused experience. I really dislike this guy as well. Not so quiet. His whole well, I have my business savviness to thank, right? But that's only a small percentage. I'm also out here with my Sigma grind set, and this is the real reason why I'm able to pull this off. I'm just smart. It's narcissistic energy, in my opinion. Well, for once, somebody else said it, not me. Sigma grind your way out of homelessness, I guess. It's the content mill. It's reaching that corner of the content mill that you just should not ever touch. As if it's an innate skill, like he's just naturally more virtuous. I think that he is trying to really make an argument that it comes down to hard work. And I think that he is underscoring the hard work that he is putting into survival. And he is not paying tribute to his additional resources that he had going into this situation, as well as the very high probability that this is all, or at least in some ways, fucking fake. Staged. Scripted.
He had to build a real business, ideally a scalable one, like an e-commerce company.
I am at the farmer's market here. I'm looking for people that are selling product I can maybe partner with and sell online.
And after making some connections with a manufacturer and looking at trends, he decided on a very specific niche, a coffee brand for dog lovers that donates a percentage of profits to saving dogs. But what got in the way was the fact that he had to document everything.
I was spending it 40 to 60 hours a week on production and marketing and running the production team alone while I was homeless in the beginning of the project. I remember being in meetings with the guys and I'd be like, I haven't eaten today. I don't have money to get back to the RV park. I got to get out of this meeting and you guys have to figure it out, because if I don't flip a couch today, I have to sleep at the office.
We need to shoot quick overview. We need to shoot how to. Our animator overseas just quit.
You're spending 25 grand a month on production?
$25,000 burned per month on producing the project and marketing it.
Paying for it out of his own pockets.
I only spent 1 hour on my business. This has been a consistent theme. I'm not gonna be able to build $1 million business like that.
How much money have you made so far?
It's underwhelming.
You're making less than minimum wage. You feel like a failure.
I can't be working all these hours. I need to build my business.
Do you feel the pressure of having people look at you, of potentially failing in public? Does that keep you up at night?
I'm so tired. I just got word the client decided to, I guess, fire us.
He had to get really strategic with his time and money. Either cut expenses to invest more into launching the e-commerce business, or invest money to save more time. For example, by hiring freelancers.
So I'm still working on the homepage, sir.
Jay, you logged 2.5 hours. You said you're gonna log a full day today, dude. We need to get this site up. Oh, God, I've never gotten that pissed. It's starting to get to the point where I'm like, mind over my head, being able to hit this goal. I don't feel like I'm far enough.
But out of desperation, Mike came up with a brilliant idea. They would not just cut his biggest expense, but might actually make him money.
I am finding a location. Let's say it's $4,000 a month to rent. I'm gonna rent out 4 of the bedrooms for $1,000 a month, so it pays for the place, and then that 5th bedroom I would get for free. That is what I call rent hacking. This is a 4-story place. This is gonna be my room, walk-in closet here. This would be my bathroom. I'd be going for.
He became a landlord. He's becoming a landlord. How a fucking original. Dude saves enough money to become a fucking landlord.
RV park this. 3 months. Made this like a podcast room or something. Wow, this place is big.
He makes it valuable by setting up this house specifically for like-minded business owners. And because his fake identity, Scott, doesn't have a good credit score, he just found someone to co-sign it.
What do you think?
He just found someone to co-sign it. You know, just pulling any old run-of-the-mill schmuck outside, you know, the place where you are frequenting as an unhoused person, faking unhoused person, and just get a random to fucking co-sign. It's so many people just love to sign their fucking name on a fucking loan. So many people just love to co-sign on a fucking loan. Like, no risk, please. Just met recently. He did a "Hey Mister" outside the 7-Eleven. This is so fucking fake. I can't believe people think that this shit is real.
Like a fair percentage of profit to do for you doing like the credit partner stuff. All right, I got the official lease. How cool is it that I went from living in an RV to this place, rent-free, plus I would make money.
And also,
How rent-free? How rent-free? Did I miss that? I got up. I want to be a white guy so bad if I can just ask some dude to co-sign a loan. Shit makes me alive to be this mad. I got a question? Okay. He's charging for other people to live there. I mean, this is a complete failure already. He has proven to me that American capitalism is a complete failure. Thanks.
So the coffee brand was finally ready to launch.
Oh, we're in business. We got coffee, baby. We got our first coffee order ever. This time, 4 months ago, guys, I was thinking about sleeping on a bench. If you're like, I hate my job, I fucking can't stand my fucking job, quit. Save up some money, downsize, quit. Figure out what you want to do.
And with roughly 9 months left, maybe it was still possible to reach the $1 million milestone.
There's a lot of people that have built a company in 9 months, have gotten it to $1 million. I'm healthy, my family's healthy. That's all that matters.
Isn't subletting illegal now?
On Tuesday, I learned that my dad was officially diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Yeah, they said it's in my lungs, my liver.
My dad is the single most important person to me in my life.
The typical survival rate for that is 14%. What I was told was like 12 to 18 months.
Believe it or not, yes, it could be better, but also be much worse. To me, I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Once it metastasizes, it's a wrap.
I'll fight, Michael. The fight begins. Don't get upset.
And here we see where Mike got his unwavering optimism. From his dad. He gets a terminal diagnosis and still considers himself to be the luckiest man in the world. After months of struggling, overcoming homelessness, working 100-hour weeks to run an entire production team, and trying to make $1 million at the same time, now this happened. This was real life now. Mike had a decision to make. Continue the project or quit.
Some things are gonna change because I'm gonna be moving home to spend time with my dad. We're gonna figure it out, you know? This is what happens in life.
It was like life was testing Mike, whether you could actually be a leader, live by the message of the project, and overcome this adversity.
You get dealt.
I would say, fuck this stupid project. If my dad is really terminally ill and he's about to die, I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in this.
Cards.
Again, these are not scenarios that an unhoused person can just back out of. The narrator is too sympathetic. Yeah, he's like headlining this. He's like, you know, he's farming this.
Play the hand that you're dealt.
His dad wanted him to continue because now this was actually about more than just making $1 million. It was about living by the values his dad taught him, making the best out of every situation, even in times of struggle. And it lit a fire inside of him.
And I wrote it down. I wanted 20,000 DMs, people reaching out saying, you impacted my life in a positive way. That's all I wanted.
So could he still reach the $1 million goal now that things got even more challenging?
And I want to make that very, very clear. Like, I don't think I was going to hit it.
But they had a pretty good plan. Coffee is one of these consumables that people buy again and again if they love your brand. So setting up a monthly subscription would be a game changer. And if they could acquire new customers to try out their products, they might become long-term repeat buyers.
Smile, dance. We put up our first TikTok, and TikTok went semi-viral. Almost 3,200 followers.
Holy shit.
What?
I think we got our first coffee club subscription.
While I was driving, Etsy order, $34,221. Our ad account got disabled. This is what I do when I'm angry. So I made a list of things I'm grateful for. The first is Mark Zuckerberg. I'm grateful for big tech. So now I feel better.
Things now started moving faster, but
Okay,
that
so
also
some
created...
of this is like almost like it's like parody. Like honestly, that part kind of seemed like it would be a college humor skit or whatever. Nathan for you skit? Yeah. And like the whole like actually like slurping on your coffee, that just added touch.
Created more problems. Mike was still juggling way too many things, spending only 5 hours a week on the e-commerce company, trying to squeeze in family time, making content to document the $1 million comeback, and researching cancer to help his dad. So far, he had spent $250,000 on producing the project, and the channel still hadn't taken off. His goal to impact 20,000 people seemed impossible, with only a few hundred views per video.
Was he, so he was filming this while it happened, right? It wasn't just like a year in the making, right? He was filming as he went.
Layer of stress, kept having to get the team pumped up. Like, guys, we'll get these views eventually.
Until his own health started declining as well.
Throughout the entire project, we haven't shared it with you, but I've been in and out of the doctor's office. I actually have 2 autoimmune diseases. Even started developing a tumor on my hip. It's gotten to the point where I'm in pain every single day.
Health, wealth, relationships, everything.
How did he get to the doctor? When did he talk about how he finally got enough money to get that new health care plan after I'm assuming that he relinquished it? How did he pay for that doctor's office visit? He spent $25K a month just producing all that content. Conservatives want to believe that shit. They want to believe it so bad. Yeah, they do.
My life is at the lowest point.
I want to talk about the project real quick. I don't know if I should keep doing it. I really should be helping out my dad with his business. My dad leaves the business is totally done.
Should he end the project?
When he says leave the business, does he mean die? Or like too sick to continue to run it? Maybe the latter. But at this point, who knows?
Now, he was still far from hitting the $1 million goal and having a big impact. But then he got a message from a stranger that changed everything.
There was a guy towards the end of the project. He reached out. I need to get on a call with you. Gets on the call and he literally just starts crying. And he's like, dude, I was going to kill myself. I came across your content. It just gave me hope. That was the best feeling I've ever felt in my entire life.
If he ended it now with only $65,000 made and one person he deeply impacted, would the project be a failure or a success?
I wanted to help people that were struggling get back on their feet and prove that it could be done. A lot of things about this situation suck, but I'm in control of how I see things.
Throughout all of this, no matter how hard life hit him, he made the best of everything and lived by the message he truly believed. That's what true leaders do. So he decided to end the project early to focus on fixing his own health and spending more time with his dad.
And now he's doing a lot better and things are going really, really well.
And who knows, maybe now, with this video, Mike is able to impact 20,000 people.
He cheated? Honestly, I think that's the yeah, you can't put homelessness on hold, and this person obviously ended up not being homeless, but fucking dollar store Morgan Spurlock. And he's like, he probably like sat with his whiteboard in the dark and thought, all right, how can I outdo Mr. Beast? What can I do that will out Mr. Beast? Oh, my stomach. So you win, you can't make it. If you can't pull yourself out of homelessness, he quit. Honestly, the fact that he did quit, because I'm assuming that his dad is very sick, and that wasn't bullshit, because that would just be so sick. That would just, I mean, I can't even believe that I'm calling that into question, to be honest. Ugh. That's gross. Anyway. But assuming that his health did take a toll, and his dad was incredibly sick, I would say that was the most, that was the best thing that he could have done. He did seem that evil. He did. And that's like what almost kind of makes him not as evil. If he kind of realized that he needed to stop doing this bullshit because his dad was actually really sick. You think he learned his lesson though? What lesson was he attempting to learn? What lesson was he to learn in this situation? I mean, if there is a crumb of nobility in this entire operation, it was the fact that he realized he needs to cut it short. My guess is the low viewer numbers made him stop his fake project, which he put lots of money into. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. So the formula is make other people homeless to get yourself a home. I mean, that's like the takeaway message that I'm sure he's hoping that you walk away with, is that, you know, health and family is more valuable than money or any kind of goal or projects or work. But again, he just stopped the bullshit, and that is not an opportunity afforded to the unhoused at all. But what if you need money for health? Exactly. And I don't know how far into detail this person might have gone in their self-reflection of how fortunate he still was to be given the opportunity to be able to make decisions or have a backup plan or have access to resources that not a lot of homeless people or unhoused people do have, right? And so really interesting to consider if that even happened. Like, doesn't seem to be the case. I think that he probably really leaned into his own short-term discomfort, right? He really probably got into character and felt like he was LARPing as an unhoused person. I can't believe my guy got a cosign from a random guy and became a landlord. What a joke. He didn't even, but the best part is that, no, he didn't prove that. He didn't prove that anyone could make $1 million. And let's honestly, I hate to do this. Let's consider why. He was not on track to make $1 million. He was not on track to make $1 million. Can we ask the TikTok landlord from yesterday how he reacts? No. But why would you post that as a victory or a win? Because he was posting it throughout. Like, he was posting it as he was doing it. He didn't, like, film it all and then post it. Which means, like, he was trying to get people's attention. Which means that he was already kind of cheating. If he was trying to use the clout that he would receive on the internet to make that $1 million. I'm assuming that's how it went too. It's not like he was undercover that whole time. It sounds like at some point, whenever he got more money, he started to post these videos as it was happening within the year. Which means, like, yeah, no, he was giving himself every single shortcut and opportunity to get that $1 million. Again, something that is not afforded to everyone. People do not have these kinds of people do not have access to these resources if they are experiencing homelessness. Not at all.